He was running a post route right across the 50, and a security guard took him out. But a nice hit, though, right? It was a nice legal hit.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
There he is. There he is.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're talking about. Wagner,
Bobby.
a veteran, right? Get him down. Now get
Got
out
another
and let these
tackle.
guys take over.
Oh,
Bobby Wagner, veteran play.
Oh, Lee.
Football.
Can't escape this bullshit. ESPN, the global leader in sports.
Welcome to the PoP Fantasy Football 2022 Week 4 recap, brought to you by PanelsOnPages.com. I'm Jason Nyes, representing the Gotham Rogues, and joining me as usual, representing Run the Justins, Jose Guzman.
Hey, at least I got one win in this year.
Representing Tell 'em Kelly Eats Band-Aids, Dan Mahoney.
I'm going to call you one the Justins.
And representing the 2021 PoP Fantasy Football champion, Brooklyn Dark Knights, PoP Fantasy Football Commissioner, Tito Cruz. Who is on mute.
My name's Tito and I'm on mute.
I got Debo this week. God damn it.
Oh, man. I posed this notion to our group. Well, first I ran it past my wife. I workshopped it with her, and she dug it. And then I dropped it in the PoP Fantasy Football chat. I said, what if Debo Samuel married Tim Tebow and took his name? He'd be Debo Tebow.
I love it.
And it sounds like a Star Wars name.
I want it to happen.
I want the
Definitely a Star Wars.
backstory of
Definitely a Star
Debo
Wars.
Tebow.
Who would play Debo Tebow in Star Wars? Like, you had to cast an actor.
Sounds
to
like a
play
droid.
Debo Tebow definitely sounds like some sort of creature or droid, yeah. All right, so...
Or maybe Cassius Andor's new droid.
Actually, is Andor. You know, the best part is I'm like, shit, is that his name? Like,
Well, I completely forgot
He had a
they
name.
even said what his last name was, and I thought Andor was the fucking city. Or the planet, sorry. The name of the fucking planet.
I can see it. I can see it.
Well, if you may have noticed, Hurricane Ian forced us to miss the show last week, and boy, oh boy, can a lot happen in a week. We've seen a butt punt, Antonio Brown choking a woman in a pool, and it looks like Tom and Gisele are heading for divorce. Before anything else wild happens, let's send it over to Mahoney with our Week 4 scoreboard.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Holy shit. This was a hell of a week. We had a lot of streaks end. We had a lot of close games. We had multiple games won by a single point.
Oof.
I don't know that we've ever had that happen.
Won by a single point in the up until the last seconds of Monday Night Football. It was still that close.
Yep. Like, bonkers. And then we had massive blowouts, like multiple massive blowouts, which is really just about as wild as the week can get. So, let's start with Nice. Let's start with you and with Matt.
You threw me for a loop. I had it selected on your game, and you're like, no, we'll go with Nyes first.
I was like, Nice will be the first one on his screen. Let's do that. But I never like for you to know where I'm going.
I love it.
All right,
Keep me
so
on my
Nice.
toes.
You're one of ththose blowouts. You absolutely trounced Matt, 119.5 to 83.
Yeah, I did not even need Cooper Kupp to play.
You really just did not. And so...
You should have sat him.
Fuck you.
There's been times where I've considered that, but then I can always hear Tito's voice in my head. Like, you need points!
Well, I was
That's what
thinking
tiebreakers.
Like in my head.
it would have
if
made
it's not-
sense for Shark to sit his defense. Or there was somebody who had a defense playing in one of the either the Sunday night or the Monday night game, and it could have worked in their favor to sit their defense.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too, but I don't remember who it was.
If it's a close game and the defense goes into negative, then yeah, that's when you might consider it.
Yeah, makes the difference.
Yeah, one of those teams had like a lead, and the other team was like unlikely but reasonable that they could maybe catch up, and then they only had their defense going, and I'm like, ugh, you're just as likely to get +3 out of that defense as you are -8, so maybe drop them. But all right, so now it's really just a team effort for you, huh? Like 28 out of Mahomes, 22.5 out of Williams.
You say
19
team
out of Cup,
effort,
14 out of Hall.
but then we got 6.5 out of Antonio Gibson, 2.5 out of Joshua Palmer, who I started at the last minute because I knew Keenan Allen was coming back, so I figured if I was going to use him, I'd use him this week. So that was a bad move. Andrews,
Not the best game.
yeah, not typical of Andrews.
Yeah,
No.
you're not ever sitting Andrews. Like you just live with, because the week before,
Whatever he gives you, you're right. Jamal Williams was big in place of Swift this week.
he's the
22.5 points.
fucking running back in the league right now.
Jamal
And
Williams was on my
Touchdown.
bench for the first 3 weeks of the season, and he
Well,
was just
but Swift
scoring
was playing.
points.
He was.
I finally had to put him in.
One
Well,
of the
it's
highest
on-
scoring
it's
teams in the NFL. One of the highest scoring teams in the NFL this year is the Detroit Lions.
Oh my god!
It was like they put
Amazing.
up 35.5 points, but their defense gives up 35.3 points. So
The other thing that you're seeing you're going to start seeing more and more dividends on, Nice, is Mr. Brees Hall, which I complimented you on that draft pick.
Another one who
During the
I
draft.
finally started for the first time this week after you complimenting me on him early on in the draft, and then mentioning, Brees Hall, I like that Brees Hall there, and he did me well. 14 points.
some of that Breesy Hall, baby.
Yeah, I mean 6 points first week, 12.5, 11, 14, solid.
Yep,
Just
as
what
he's
he's
just
doing.
taking over that backfield for the Jets.
Yeah, I mean he really had no real competition.
Michael Carter, there was just some question about Michael Carter, but you could see it in the preseason that he was eventually going to take over.
Yeah, I mean Carter, he's got some skill. He does have some skill. He's not.
He's a good
useless,
pass
but
catcher. He's
just
a good
not-
pass catcher out the backfield.
Yeah,
He doesn't have Hall's explosiveness.
no, he's not that guy yet. One day, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, a real nice win after just getting trounced by Tad last week. I love when we skip a week when I lose, so I don't have to talk about it.
Always the best.
Wait,
Rough
did that
for
week even
Matt,
happen?
huh? So Matt lost Kamara, but other than that, his team is just kind of meh.
Rodgers is not there yet.
Yeah,
No.
he got 20 out of Rodgers. He got 15
Yeah.
out of Mixon. 8
Elliott
out-
isn't there anymore.
yeah. So
Juju isn't doing anything in Kansas City. McLaurin isn't doing anything in Washington so far.
yeah.
I think McLaurin had one good week. No, he's had 2 good weeks.
But Curtis Samuel and Jahan Dotson have
Are-
been kind of like the shining moments.
Which is funny because he has Dotson. He's just not playing
Well,
Dotson.
Yeah, but he might not be. He might be out a couple weeks. With a hammy.
No, well,
Questionable.
he's played first 4 games.
He
might be
didn't
out.
practice today. today.
With them
Well, good
hammies,
job, Matt. You had him when he was valuable, and now you've got him on your bench for when he's not.
Yeah.
Good job.
I
those
feel like
hammies.
Vetter's already doing it, but all of those teams that either by fault of their own or technical difficulties that had to auto draft, that's really making the difference.
Yeah, we did have more auto draft teams this year than any other year, and those teams are really sucking it up. So it's not a good idea, I would say. We've proven it out. Let's go down this list and Goat mostly auto drafted, yeah.
Yeah.
He's one.
But he was having app problems. And if I
Right.
remember correctly, Shark kept coming in and out of the draft, so I think that was the same issue.
That's fine. Whatever the reason, Goat did it. He's 1-3. Kelly did it. He's 1-3. Matt did it. He's 1-3. Vetter did it. He's 2-2. Like, just about everybody.
I
who
did it. I'm 1-3.
You did it. Did you auto? You didn't auto draft.
Yeah, no, it was wild. I was having all kinds of issues. The whole thing's fucked.
Yeah.
The whole thing's fucked.
Tito, by the way, was there the whole draft. He's 1-3. So
1-3.
Oh.
Yep.
Oof.
With a couple of heartbreakers.
yeah.
And
They're all heartbreakers.
oh well, I don't want to jump too far ahead, so we'll talk about that later.
All right,
On to the
let's
next
keep
one.
going with our blowouts. So, Nice, you mentioned last week Thatcher kicked the shit out of you, and man, he must have really pissed your wife off because she came down on him 162 to 120. Imagine putting up 120 and getting blown out.
Getting smoked.
Like,
Thatcher would have beaten me by a point.
yeah. He would have beaten practically anybody.
The only other teams the only teams he
4.
wouldn't have beaten were Mahoney, Lee, and Mel.
Yeah.
And Mary, obviously.
And Mary.
You guys.
Unbelievable week for Mary.
When Mary knows she's in the driver's seat on a fantasy football week, she's adorable. She's so cocky. She is so happy. I'm a big
She's
fan.
checking scores.
Yeah.
Looking at highlights.
At one point, I just started calling her greedy because she was just touchdown after touchdown after touchdown.
Hawkinson's been a gold mine for him.
Fucking Hawkinson. Yeah, I had Jamal Williams and she had Hawkinson, and they were just trading touchdowns.
Let's count these touchdowns on Mary's team. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 touchdowns on her team this week.
If I remember correctly, there was at one point during Red Zone where 2 of her players got a touchdown simultaneously in the double box.
I cannot imagine how infuriated I would be if I scored 120 points and got blown out.
They changed the logo to Mary Zone.
Yeah. Unreal. So yeah, Mary, 23 out of Burrow, 21.5 out of Henry, 18 out of Chubb, 26 out of Evans, 13 out of Doug Judy, 35 out of Hawkinson,
Doug.
9 out of Corduroy Peterson over there, 8 out of Green Bay's defense, and 9 out of Matt Gay. Like, unreal week.
What really was the game changer for her is Derrick Henry and Mike Evans finally showed up.
Yep.
But Evans had, 3 touchdowns? 2? Shitload of yards?
He had, if I remember correctly, he had all of the Tampa Bay touchdowns.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a
2
row
touchdowns.
for 21 and a half points for Henry.
Yeah.
So
See,
he's starting to pay off.
That, I think, is the scariest thing to me about Mary's team. Like, sure, Hawkinson will probably not score 35 points every week, so he'll score, let's say, 15. We'll take 20 points away from him. He'll score maybe 15 a week, maybe even 25. We take 25 away from him. That's still like 135 to 140 points for Mary. Like, none of us can do that. We can't put up those points. Like, that's a scary team right there. It's terrifying. Guys, we might need you to poison her. Not now. Just keep it in your back pocket. Maybe
Right.
Look into some poison shots.
I mean, technically, that's collusion, right? Like we've had issues with, husband-wife collusion. So me poisoning her.
If you poison her, that's not collusion. That's murder.
Funny, that was the John Madden quote I was going to use this week.
I just want to point out, we didn't say poison her to death. Just take her out for a couple weeks. Come back.
What the
around
fuck?
Super Bowl.
What is this? Last night you guys try and implicate me in a cheating scandal, and tonight you're trying to get me to murder my wife.
I sounded like you were trying to pay us to do it.
Yeah, just call all of us your silly wiener, because we're here to ruin your life.
Oh my god.
All right, let's see. Who else had a blowout this week? Me. I had a blowout this week. And you know what sucks about this? I blew out Goat 126.5 to 79.
Blew his
And
back
I was
out.
not feeling good about that whole fucking time. The entire time I was convinced he was going to beat me.
Well, yeah.
And, like,
that's your dark passenger talking, Mahoney.
I know, but like, how am I supposed to get joy? How am I supposed? I beat him by 40 points, and I spent the whole time being like, "He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back and get me."
Well,
like, where's the fun in that?
I think also,
so
as a
on
nice
Thursday-
person, you were trying to build Goat up a little bit.
No, not even. Nice of you to think that. No, I legitimately thought he was gonna come back and beat me.
I mean, he lost 2 on the Thursday night game.
Yep.
So right there off the bat, he got off to a
I
bad
thought you
start.
said he lost 2, and I was like, oh, who did he lose? He lost Tua and... I was like, who's the
And
other
then
guy?
He started the Lions defense, which got him a -8.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
You might not even want to have the Lions defense. Huh?
Yeah, I don't think I would.
I mean,
Let's
to be
see.
fair, though, that was against...
-5, 8, 1, -8. That's been their point totals this season.
I really don't know what he was thinking. He saw Geno Smith in Seattle and was like, "Ha
That's probably what it was.
And then Geno Smith was like, "Fuck you, 3 touchdowns." Ha ha.
I tried to get all clever with the Miami defense because I have Buffalo, who I love, but they were playing Baltimore, and I was like, seems like a rough
Yeah,
week
but
to start 'em.
you don't sit Buffalo.
I
Steve.
know, but I felt like if all the weeks, this was the week to sit them. And then they scored 8 friggin' points against Baltimore. I was like, okay, serves me right.
Yeah, the Bills are one of those D's where you just live with it. You don't get cute.
Yep,
Just
All right,
say
they got-
I got
a
cute.
You know who they got?
position player.
Who they got this week, right, Mahoney? Pittsburgh
Uh,
Steelers and the rookie quarterback.
Oh
Yeah.
you should definitely sit him this week.
Well, the quarterback looked pretty good. Tito picked him up after I was like, if this Russell Wilson guy doesn't pan out, I might be needing that Pittsburgh quarterback. And then Tito
No,
went.
he's amazing. Like, you should seriously sit the Bills again.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's gonna matter this week because I got Mel, and Mel's got a monster team this week. But anyways, I finally get 31 points out of Jacobs. He's been a bit slow for me, but he came through. I finally get 29.5 points out of Russell Wilson. He's been down, so that was nice. And
You know, looking at his stats so far, I would have thought he was doing worse.
Russell Wilson.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
but
not
you-
doing great, but...
No, but his team's also losing, and that's not what he was brought there to do.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
the team as a whole were putting up more points consistently last year without him.
You think maybe, I'm going to put this out there, maybe Russell Wilson discovered weed?
I hope. I hope he did.
He moves
So,
to Denver,
first
and then he's
week-
like, wow, weed is amazing. Fuck practice.
First, fuck
Well,
practice.
yeah, but
The
Seattle's
first week I
legal
get
too, though.
19 out of them, right? So week 1, 19 points, which decent. That's fine. Except, you know, he was playing his old team that traded him away,
Mhm.
so like you kind of thought he'd like go off a little bit. So it's like,
Yeah.
that's
Go off,
disappointing.
King.
19.5, but he is fine. But he's the guy you're looking for
30.
20 plus.
Yeah.
Right.
consistent.
I'm like, I can get 19 out of fucking Tannehill on the waiver wire. I don't need this.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah. Then I got 12. Then I got 8. And then when he scored 8 points, I was like, I get that it's San Francisco, but shit, man. Like, if you're going to be scoring me 8 points, I'm going to just pick up a new quarterback every week. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to deal with this shit. And then he finally comes through for me with 29.5. So we'll see what he does against Indy.
Which Indy's got their own issues, especially
Yeah.
if Taylor's out.
Taylor's out. They already announced it.
Oh,
for Thursday.
official? He's done? He's
Yeah.
not playing?
He's out.
Yeah.
He's out.
Ooh.
How long is he out?
I don't know.
They've only announced them out for this week.
At least a week.
It was Javante who is
Yes,
done for the
yes.
season.
The Denver's running back is out for the season.
It does continue our long-standing tradition of Kelly drafting a first-round running back who is injured and out, and me having already picked up that player's backup. And all we need now to complete the cycle is for Kelly to trade me Jonathan Taylor.
For a bag of donuts.
Yeah.
So what are robots like? They probably like
Oil.
Bitcoin.
Oil.
I'm gonna send him a picture of a Bitcoin.
Tin Man
They
was
don't-
always like oil can.
All right, that's fair. Also, I'd say Tin Man, probably not a robot, but we can start there.
Yeah, not a robot, an actual Tin Man, but same sort of deal. It's robot lube, bro.
It's like, let me see what a lion's like. I gotta feed a lion. What a lion's like. And you're like, well, fish like to eat fish food. Maybe start with fish food.
Yes, exactly. You were saying lion. I thought you were gonna make another Wizard of Oz reference.
No, I didn't know where I was going. All right, so those are all of our blowouts. Let's talk about our close games. We'll start with the least close game, which was Jose, who was 0-3, on the verge of being 0-4, up against Vetter and his worst team ever.
Who, since changing his name from the Cinnamon Anvils of Crom to worst team ever, I believe he's gone 0-2.
He's gone 0-2. I don't know why people keep changing their names. All they do is lose.
No matter what.
But yeah, Jose, you pulled it out, 89 to 82.5.
Why start Lawrence? You weren't sure about Herbert's status?
Well, because the game before he did not look good. And if the offense was going to be sputtering like that, I thought Jacksonville would have played better throughout the whole game, given the Doug Peterson angle. And Jacksonville's been, they've been on the cusp of all right. I was playing the emotion, but then come to find out, the fucking turns out to be a shitty rainy day, which causes 4 fumbles by Trevor Lawrence. So that was fucking real cool, guys.
4 fumbles is ridiculous.
Yes.
4 fumbles and an interception. He had 10 points taken off of his score. Like,
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
I mean,
So minus that, he would have given me like 20. Not the Herbert, but luckily, it did not cost me.
Yeah. If Vetter had one other person beside Jared Goff show up on his team, he wins.
Yeah, because imagine getting 82.5 points when Jared Goff scores you 41.
41.
oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I also
my
lost,
God.
I lost Javante, so that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Because I think that was like early.
I do believe, yeah.
So, he had 3 points and was done for the day.
And done for the year now.
Well, yeah, ain't it?
Eek.
Eek indeed. So who's trying to get rid of a running back? Kelly bot.
Kelly Bot has all the running backs.
What you want for Jonathan Taylor? I got
Probably
backups.
not much.
You fucking love backups? I got backups. I got backups to backups. I got 4th-year players not drafted yet.
Let's see. There's really just no one on Vetter's team worth talking about. What a shit week for all of them.
Oh, yeah,
Only
that's
Goff, really.
that is one of
You
the
want
most
to talk about somebody who's
depressing-
performing well. 18, 34, 15, 41.
Yeah.
He's ranked 4th amongst quarterbacks.
Yeah, what's crazy is he gets traded from the Rams, and Detroit are looking like the Rams that won the Super Bowl. They got the speed, they got the dual running backs, everything.
They got the
around.
wideouts, the tight end.
You just copy success. You see something that's working, you say, I'm going to do that. So, good for them. All right, these last couple of games, let's see. We got 2 left. Both of them decided by a single point.
One of them decided by less than a foot.
So let's start with Lee and Mel. Lee, who, if you recall, Lee was 2-0. He beat Tito to be 2-0, and he was laughing. He was in the group chat. He sent a screenshot of the score, and he was like, "Holy shit, what is this?" And then it was like, "LOL, like ha ha ha," laughing it up. And since that moment, he is 0-2. So now he is 2-2, falling like a stone. loses to Mel 124.5 to 123.5.
But if you tell him, hey, you're gonna score 120, or you tell me he's gonna score 123.5, I'm gonna say, oh, he's gonna win
Right.
Yeah. But you know why he didn't?
because the other guy scored 124.5.
He's
Struck
drowned
down
it in
by
the
karma.
laurels.
Because when you laugh at the fantasy football gods laugh back at you.
Yeah, you'd think Lee, of all people, would know not to let his head get too big.
Too late. Speaking of somebody with running backs, Mel got running backs.
What up, Mel?
Have running back.
His starting threes:
Oof.
Eckler, Barkley, and Pierce.
Yeah, this is why I don't want to play Mel this week. So, Jose, I actually greatly encourage you to trade for one or more of Mel's running backs.
I tried, like in week 1 or week 2, to get Barkley from Mel for Debo, thinking I'd do a hometown thing.
Yeah.
Mel was not having it.
And he's got Rashad Penny on his bench with 27.5 points, too.
Mm-hmm. Because where could he put him? Like, literally where? Because Barkley came through, Pierce paid off, Eckler paid off. Like, Mel is a terrifying team, and I would not be surprised to see him in the finals.
So if you're trading with Mel, you're going to have to maybe offer a wideout.
I got
That might be
wideouts
the
for
only
days.
thing.
I got like 9 wideouts.
He doesn't need a quarterback. He doesn't need a running back, obviously. He's going to stick with Kittle, even though Kittle's really downgraded this year. He hasn't looked very good.
At least he's on the field, though. You know,
Yeah.
like, at least he's on the field. So that's a plus. The talent's there. You know, the numbers will get back to him. And Jimmy G's back. They kind of had a
Goddamn Silver Fox, Jimmy G.
Every time I have someone send me an offer for a wideout, I just have this gnawing sense in the back of my mind of, I could find this on the waivers. Like, I don't. Every single time it's ever been offered to me, I'm like, do I need this person, or could I just go get them somewhere else? Like, unlike running backs, and unlike some of these other positions, wide receivers just feel interchangeable to me.
to a degree, but the come week 5, week 6, week 7, those injuries start coming into play.
Yeah.
Bye weeks.
Them Pickens or Slimmons.
I feel like you're going to get a good week out of somebody you pick off of the waiver wire, but there's nobody consistently putting up 10 points a week on waivers. You're going to get a nice 15-point week, and then he'll go 3 weeks where he gets 6 total points.
And let's look at Lee's team, because again, 123.5 isn't shabby. Murray with 26. His one underperformer, I would say, would be Najee Harris with 7 points.
Just like TikTok predicted.
Yeah, and his season hasn't been stellar.
It's
9,
amazing
10.5, 10.5, 7. And he was a first round pick, so not the output you want from a first round pick.
Nope.
You know, and Kyler Murray, you know, doing work, doing decent for him. His only off week was last week.
Oh, you mean the same weekend the Call of Duty beta was going on?
Wasn't that the double XP weekend?
It was, yeah. It was
the fucking
beta.
the new Call of Duty beta weekend, and he played like dog shit. And then the next week, like to the point where you heard one of the announcers was like, "This was the first time I've seen him check all his progressions first and then throw the ball." Like he's not worried about that fucking XP right now.
Lee, because I know you're listening intently, drop Trey Lance. You really don't need him on your bench.
Yeah, I was telling them that yesterday on the podcast. It's like, buddy, you got a whole player who's not going to play again for the rest of the season. What are you doing?
Go get your boy. Take care of your boy.
Nice.
Nah, man.
So
I
you'll hear
drafted
it,
him.
but
I'm ending it with him.
I was like, you got this guy. He's injured. He's not going to play this year. And Nice goes, you got to put him on your IR spot. And I go, no, he's got a healthy player in his IR spot.
Not anymore. Or wait, no, maybe he does.
Did he
This
fix
is
it? I don't know. I'm looking
last
at the
week.
box score.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a mess. He's already lost interest. He's 4 weeks in. We might need to take his team away.
You forced the team on him.
I might force it out of him now. Might take it back. We'll see.
Give his team to Kelly.
Oh, Kelly's banished. He can come back next year if he wants.
You
That's
should.
right, Kelly.
Tito, as the commissioner, should swap their teams and see if they notice.
I can do that.
Kind of amazing.
One morning, like right after waiver wire, switch everyone's teams.
Do a shuffle.
You should do it tomorrow, and you should start with Mel. Send all of his running backs to me. That would be so funny. Everybody would laugh so hard.
That would be an interesting fantasy football twist, right? Like mid-season, just shuffle everybody's team. Excuse me, everybody's team.
Ooh, redraft.
Like, there's leagues that do that. That do a mid-season redraft.
We should 1 year do where if you lose, you can force a trade one of your starters for one of their starters each week.
Well, that's the Vampire League, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's only like one vampire though, right? Or
Yeah, there's different
multiple
ways to do it.
vampires?
There's one way to do it where you have the vampire team, where the team is a vampire, or you just do it like you just described, where if I beat you, I get to force a trade, taking your guy.
I would hate that. Like, not playing that way, but losing. I would just be so angry at whoever they took from me.
Coming back for you, motherfucker. Yeah, but then you might lose to somebody and lose him.
All right, can we just rip this Band-Aid off and get to my game, please?
Yeah.
Let's get to Tito's game. Tito, how'd your game go?
It fucking sucked. That's how it did.
You lost 90.5 to 89.5?
You know what I have? You know what I hate? I went into the Sunday night game thinking Debo's not going to get me close. I was resigned to losing, and then he's performing, and he scored that big touchdown, and he's rushing, and he's getting closer, and he's getting closer, and I'm saying, holy shit, I might fucking pull this off. Then he does that run, that screen, and he runs, and they got him down at the 1 inch line. If my man scores that touchdown, I win. 1 inch. Well, it was more than 1 inch, but you get what I'm saying.
And then Tito would have won this week, and Debo would have been Mrs. Debo Tebow.
It would have helped if Robinson or Pitts showed up and actually did something, but
Man, what a fucking letdown Allen Robinson has been this year.
Yeah.
I'm
All
talking
this
James Robinson. I
preseason
don't have
talk
Allen
about.
Robinson.
I have Allen Robinson, and let me tell you, he is definitely a letdown.
Yeah.
He was
I didn't
so
have my
hyped.
boy Amon Ra. He was off,
Yeah.
you know,
Still hurt.
guarding the museum or whatever he was doing.
Yeah. I heard he's not going to play again, so you should probably just drop him.
No, he's gonna play again this week.
That's not what I heard.
No, not this season. He'll play again, but
Yeah,
just not,
like
not
Sunday.
this season.
On like his kids' team, he's going to be a coach.
Player/coach. He's going to try to pull off what Tom Brady tried doing in Miami.
Yep.
For his Pee-wee.
So, anyways, you should drop him.
I'll
Or
think
you know
about
what? It's probably easier if you just trade him to me and I'll drop him for you. I'll send you fucking Allen Robinson.
it. Yeah, send me Allen Robinson.
I did send you my other Allen Robinson, Gabe Davis, whose
Gabe
face
Davis.
I don't want to look at again.
Which I was fine with because I'm never gonna start. What's his face that I sent you? So I was like,
Yeah.
this is not a problem.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Mahoney's so high on Gabe Davis before the week starts, and then like minutes after Gabe Davis's game, Mahoney's like, "Oh, this Gabe Davis guy is a fucking loser." And the entire time,
You remember the draft? So the draft, I'm going back and forth. Do I draft Amon Ra or do I draft Gabe Davis? And I draft Amon Ra, and Mahoney's like, don't draft Gabe Davis. I'm going to pick – and then he sure enough, Mahoney picks up Gabe Davis right after I don't draft him.
you know,
And now you got both.
he keeps name dropping Gabe Davis, and in my head, I expect him to be a white boy. That is a white boy name, Gabe Davis. Jeez Louise.
Playing like a Cole Beasley.
All right,
Beasley not even playing like a Cole Beasley.
we
Cole Beasley's all done.
We good with the games
We are
from
good.
last week? All right. Tito has our updated standings following week 4.
All right, so let's start with the only undefeated team in the league, which is Mahoney's Tell 'em Kelly Eats Band-Aids, leading the Trouser Seeds at 4-0. Again, our only undefeated team.
Amazing.
Yep.
Must be nice.
Even with Gabe Davis.
Get him, Mel.
With the top's going to hurt.
Right now, they have Mahoney with an 84% chance of making the playoffs. By far the biggest percentage in anybody else in the league.
Oh, but this is the year he's going to start
24 points.
6-0 and still not make the playoffs.
No.
Damn.
Big talk, Mr. 1-3.
Yeah, but I'm coming for you.
Yeah. You got to come for something. You got nowhere else to be.
In second is Vetter's worst team ever at 2-2. Kelly Harris's Kelly bought 5,000. I don't want to say what Nyes hates. What he renamed this team.
Tito, you're a good friend.
Thanks, Clark 6.
And Matt
fucking
Selbyville
robot.
Sharks also at 1-3. In the Butthole Banditos division, Mary's now leading the division at 3-1. Johnny Rodriguez at 2-2. Myself and Goat fighting for the basement at 1-3. In the Don't Make It Weird, you got Thatcher. I think Thatcher does this pretty regularly. Jumps up to a pretty good lead and then just kind of squanders it at the end.
I mean, last season I was fighting up until the very end to try and get that wild card spot, just because I was behind Thatcher all season.
So Thatcher and Nyes at 3-1, and here's where points come into play because Thatcher has the tiebreaker there.
Yeah, of course.
Mel, Thatcher actually leads our league with points scored.
Yeah. That's
at 534.
Basically the whole league combined.
The most nuts thing I think I've ever seen is Mahoney's points against.
We don't need to talk about that.
He puts a fucking Romani curse on whoever he's playing that week. It's been 4 weeks. He's only had 273 points scored against him.
Yeah.
The next lowest is 343.
Yeah.
Wild.
You want to talk about collusion? He's paying everybody.
It's pretty amazing. But I will say, my points for not great either, but it's not every week that I'm just eking by. Like, I crushed Goat this week, so. My team's hanging in there. My team's better than it is performing. That's for sure.
All right. Well, so that's week 4. Mahoney. What can we expect for week 5?
Week.
No.
You got to wait
right.
for it every time.
I know. And the worst part is, as I'm trying to wait for that, I'm like, come on, webpage, load week 5.
Right.
I'll get around to it when I get around to it. Fuck you. All right, let's see. This week, I've got Mel, which is terrifying for me because, as Tito pointed out, Mel has 3 of the best running backs and really just positioned to be a real problem for all of us. So, not something that I'm looking forward to dealing with. Projected to beat me 115 to 108, which is close enough that I'm not super worried about it, but I also think his running backs are going to outperform their projections, so not feeling very high. But that's fine. That's why you want to go 4-0, because then you got room.
Don't say hi around Jose and not expect a joke.
Feeling very Jose right now.
Yeah, Eckler,
You are the new Jose.
He has Eckler going against Cleveland, Barkley going against Green Bay.
Yeah. Don't love it. I don't love that for me.
But you have, listen, Jamar Chase in that Cincy-Baltimore game can get you 30. He's done it in the past against Baltimore. That Baltimore defense is not what it used to be.
No.
And those teams tend to be in shootouts. You got Bills against Pittsburgh. They're projecting them at 9. I think that's going to be a double-digit score for the Bills.
Yeah, you might. It might be another these dudes aren't playing the fourth quarter game.
Oh, that's the worst.
And
When you need like
your
3
big question-
points and
your
you
big
see your
question is if
quarterback sit
Jacobs can
down.
kind of perform what he did last week, I should say, if he stays on that
That
trend.
would be great. That would be great. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see. I'm not feeling too excited about it, but I'm optimistic. It can certainly happen.
I wish
But
you
if
the
I
best
find
of
myself
luck.
4-1, that's a great start. I'm not sweating that.
Wish you the best of luck, Mahoney. You're gonna win this week. Let's see it. Let's do it. I have 100% confidence in you.
I appreciate it. All right, so then we've got Tito. You've got Matt, which after your heartbreak last week, Matt's a good opponent to get. He's not looking too hot this week.
We're both 1-3.
Yeah, 1-3 for Matt. Projected at 96. You're 1-3, but projected at 113. And if Amon-Ra does come back from his little Odin sleep, you'll be in better shape. So
You know though, Shark, if Rodgers shows up and has a nuts Rodgers game, he might be right back in this thing.
Absolutely. The problem with Rodgers now is that they're still trying to figure out who their guy is.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like, who is he throwing to?
there was a lot of clips on TikTok this week of him screaming at that team for doing the wrong things.
That's
And,
fun.
It's
I'm
only week
hoping
4.
the guy in my lineup is the guy he decides to throw to.
So that's why Green Bay's going to a lot of 2-back sets with Dylan and what's his face? What's his nuts?
Jones,
Yes.
Tom
They're
Jones.
doing a lot. They're doing a lot more of that 2-back set, with both of them being there. Not instead of one relieving the other, they're both out there at the same time.
Baby's got 2 backs.
All right, then we've got. I can never remember that this is Vetter, but this is Vetter, worst team ever, projected at 96, coming up against Goat, who is 1-3, but really has a better team than 1-3 suggests. He's projected at 111, so
His Cam Akers pick has been a dud for him.
absolute disaster. I cannot understand why Cam Akers is still on his team.
So said the talk.
Yeah,
McCaffrey,
another one. The TikTok was like, "Do not draft Cam Akers," and Goat was like, "Oh yeah."
But it's wild. I don't know how drastic each Achilles injury was, but you see Cam Akers, who came back early, was able to give it a go in the playoffs last year. Didn't have the explosiveness. Playing this year, showing flashes, but can't do it consistently. And then you see James Robinson come back from an Achilles, and he's breaking off 57-yard touchdown runs. He's catching passes and running those shits for touchdown. So Mets are definitely prolonging careers.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Miami Dolphins.
So Coach changed his starting lineup, obviously. So he put Brady in, obviously with the Tua being out.
Yeah,
McCaffrey, Wilson.
He had been starting Brady, took him out for Tua, like just at the wrong time.
Either Brady's gonna go off this week, or like he has looked like shit. I don't know about you guys. But
He's either gonna go off or be crying on the sideline.
yeah, his throws are garbage. It just does not look like the same guy.
But you know who he consistently throws to that's making it work is Evans.
Yes.
He can always throw to Evans, and that always works for him.
But see, they don't currently have the other guy. They don't have the Gronk, or
he misses Gronk.
He's not really hitting those interchangeable white guys with these easy throws. The throws are either off or they're dropping them.
Well, and their offensive line is not what it was. They're missing like 2 to 4 people that were supposed to be, and I think they lost like their starting center.
Juju was definitely getting some. Juju's on the Buccaneers, right?
No, he's on KC.
Okay, that's what confused me.
If you can't make it work with Mahomes, like what is going on? All you got to do is just be open. He'll find you.
Yeah.
So one thing Goat does have to look forward to is Goff is probably not going to score another 40 points.
I mean,
Not with that attitude.
I mean, he's going up
You
against
see
New
how
England.
this year's going? Like, normally, yes, but this year, he fucking might.
New England
Imagine
is looking.
when Amon comes back and Swift comes back. Like, they're just getting better. He did that. He put up 40-something without their two best players.
But New England has their third string quarterback.
True.
Yeah.
If that guy goes down,
They're gonna call
Third
Mahoney.
quarterback, and they forced overtime.
Yeah.
You're going to see Mark
If that guy,
Sanchez.
no, if that guy goes down, Mahoney's gonna get a phone call. Hey, how fast can you make it to the stadium?
I'll be like, oh, give me an hour.
Yeah.
I'll play quarterback.
Do you get extra points if you end up playing that week?
You automatic draft yourself.
Belichick
Absolutely.
is like, we just
All right.
signed this new quarterback. His name's Tim Brody.
I would like to
got a mustache.
declare a new rule for the league that if any of us joins a professional football team, we are automatically added to our own team.
I like it. And it doesn't count
You know-
as a roster spot against you. It's just an extra.
The points
added
just
for-
add on. Yeah. So Cooper Cup's dad plays in a fantasy league, and they used to automatically give him Cup every year. So after his year last year, they were like,
Nope.
"We're not doing that again."
Yeah, you can fuck off.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing. And feel it as an accomplishment that your son is now this good. We will tell you to fuck off. You cannot have him.
Speaking of somebody getting told to fuck off, the Kelly bot over here, Cooked 6 Kelly bot 5000, checking in with a projection of 86 points because Taylor's done. So I don't know what he's going to do. He's got a bunch of running backs. So
No, he has to put Jones in. He has to put Aaron Jones in. That's what he has to do.
slot somebody in there. But he's got to make a move, and I don't know what the robot's waiting for. It's not like he's got,
Aaron Jones shouldn't even be on the bench.
And he's got
Well,
Damian
that's the
Harris at
problem.
his
He's got Too many
flex.
people.
How's
Yeah,
Damian
but-
Harris doing?
So
Damian
then
Harris
who's
is
his
doing
second
pretty
running
damn
back?
good.
If he's got Harrison, and then there's Taylor who's hurt. So who is this other guy?
And New England's definitely going to run the ball. Connor from Arizona. James Conner.
The Kelly bot definitely made some good choices in drafting like every running back it could get its hands on. So, it's hard to fit them all in.
It's wild. It's almost as if Kelly Bot was picking the highest ranked player every time he got a pick.
Seriously. But, when you have too many running backs that you can't even start them all and running backs are at a premium, you'd think I don't know, trade some for other value, like turn them into something. Kelly
Any
bot.
wide receivers, Kelly bot.
But the Kelly bot's over here trying to learn, the nuclear codes. So too busy, I guess. But yeah, projected at 86, playing Tad. We all know Tad's no slouch, especially at this part of the season. Projected at 111, so that has the potential to be real bad for that Kelly bot. It's only 1-3, could be 1-4 real soon.
Tell me about it.
You go to 1-4 with that roster of running backs, you start moving them all.
Well, yeah, because if you got them and you're not winning, then
Yeah, fuck it.
you got to do something. See if you can turn that one guy into two guys. Try to fix your team as much as possible. Because
What's the point of keeping them if you're just going to be 1-4?
it ain't fun digging yourself out of a hole.
Nope. Been there at 1-6.
All right, where are we at?
So let's see. Who is our next person? Our next person is Jose. Jose and Mary. Projected pretty close. Jose, you're at 100. 100.
1-0, 100.
100. And then Mary
100.
at 109. So anybody's game, really.
Pretty much. It's going to come down to whose stars show up.
Yep. Whose stars show up and who chooses the right players that week.
It might come down to which running back New England leans on.
True.
Yeah.
They're going to be running a lot, that's for sure.
Or they both have a good game.
They
And
might.
if a homeboy from Green Bay continues his progression and emerges as Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy.
Yes, if that happens, that'd be pretty cool for me. Cause that'd be cool.
Semi-related. I think they were talking about it with Brady, but it also relates to Aaron Rodgers. Just imagine these guys are in their fucking 40s, and they have to deal with like a bunch of 20-year-old teammates.
Yeah.
Fucking TikToking and more worried about their dancing than their fucking play.
Well, Tom Brady's gonna be dating a 20-year-old next week, so it's good.
Yeah, no shit. You start seeing him and Leo hanging out. Watch that world.
Leo telling him, you see, this is why I have that 25-year-old cutoff. This is why I do that.
I get it. You know, whatever. Tom Brady and Gisele don't work out. No surprise. It happens all the time. Whatever. I just find something so bizarre in getting upset with Tom Brady for loving football.
Well, but yes, I agree with you. But there was that whole back and forth about whether he was retired or not, and that's
but, like,
that's what happens when you're the best in the fucking game.
In the history of the game. And like, what did you think retirement for Tom Brady was going to look like? Like, he would just like not watch it, not care about it. Like,
I mean, he was going to be an analyst,
right?
Yeah.
But man is going to be involved and obsessed with football until the day he dies. So how are you going to be like, oh my god, still with the football? Like,
Yeah,
we're
now
not
you're
over
gonna be
this
like,
yet.
oh, now you're on TV all the time
Yeah, like,
talking about football.
what the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Oh man, you think Pete Davidson's gunning for Gisele?
I hope he does.
Jose's bench is like a haven for injured wideouts.
Oh my god,
Oh, shit.
what if Zach
Look at
Wilson
that.
goes for Gisele?
I was thinking that, but
That'd be awesome. What? You don't like it? I like
no,
it.
I like it for him. Of course, I
He
love
said
it. For
I
him.
fucking love it.
Like, Gisele, you want some of this young gravy?
If I was Gisele, I'd be like, Zach Wilson, come over here. I want to give Tom something to love about football.
She just bangs the opposing quarterback every week.
Yeah, you do that, you're gonna cause fucking Tom to win 2 titles in a row.
He's gonna win a championship in a sport he doesn't even play.
Yeah, just in spite. He's like, guess what? I'm doing soccer.
He's
now,
gonna
dude."
enter the NBA draft.
I love it. I hope he does. I hope he does.
Well,
I
Jose,
hope the young
good luck
gravy-
this week against my wife. I'm sure you'll win and have the best luck in the world.
Okay.
You guys are not responding to my reverse psychiatry.
I wasn't quite sure where you were going with this. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was
what
like,
did
oh,
Mary
that's-
do?
That's nice.
Yeah, both of you were like,
I
"Oh,
do
thank
as
you,
well, thank you.
thank you." Where are we at?
Last game of the week. It's you and Lee, Nice. You gonna let him have a winning record or a losing record?
A losing record, because you're gonna have a swell of a day.
Projections have you at 111 and Lee at 102. So
Yeah,
But it
So
won't matter
good
because
for
you're
you.
scoring 150.
because we're all having fun.
Just a cheerful 150.
you know we've been talking about scary teams. Let's not underestimate Nice and his team over here. 3-1, Mahomes, Cup. Like this is not.
Andrews.
Imagine if Mahomes was throwing the cup. That would be the ultimate combo stack.
Yeah, Nice. You should have them. You should send a letter. See if you can make that happen. Be like, hey Mahomes, have you considered throwing a Cooper Cup?
Yeah, just hit him up, see what he's doing, and just start tossing it to him.
Yeah, my roster looks pretty good. One omission though, Amari Cooper.
I mean, we all have those moments, but I can't believe you dropped Amari Cooper.
I can't believe I did either at this point. So when I've been dropping people lately, I've been much more careful.
Checking to see if I'll need him first.
I mean, how has Amari Cooper been? You didn't even start Amari Cooper.
No, I did.
Oh, you did.
I've started him 2 weeks. He didn't play well this week, but I started him.
God damn it!
I put him in my lineup once I picked him up because I had Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen was out, and I had Michael Thomas, and Michael Thomas is out, and I have DeAndre Hopkins, and
he's suspended. I'm telling you, Jose's team is a halfway home for injured wide receivers.
But I picked up Romeo Dubes, and I picked up Amari Cooper, and saddled them in with Justin Jefferson, and we'll see how that turns out.
It's pronounced Romeo Dubes.
Romeo Dubes of the Dubes clan of Dubinville.
I want to see if I can get Lee to trade me somebody this week before our game.
I want to see if you can get Lee to log in and change his lineup. That's what I want to see.
Do you think I could get Tyreek Hill away from Lee?
Yes. I don't think Lee knows anything about any of these players. And as long as you made him an offer that when it came to him in his email, and then you told him to check his email, if it appeared appealing, like if the predictions said nice words, I think you could probably convince him to do just about anything.
All right, Lee.
Bat your eyes at him.
Tyreek Hill for Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Let's go.
Veto.
I mean, if I don't know anything about anything, I'm like, Marquez Valdez-Scantling? Holy shit, that sounds like a name to have.
All he has to do is run through the trade analyzer, and it's going to tell you, don't do it.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's going to do that. We don't even know if he knows how to do that.
Go. Make sure he knows how to do that.
All right, well, that'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
Final thoughts going into week 5 from Tito.
So for the losing teams, or the teams that are at 500, a lot of these losses are pretty tight, are pretty close. So I wouldn't get too discouraged there. Besides Mahoney running away with everything in his division, everything else seems to be pretty tight. You only have like a 2-game gap between being last place and being first place. So that could switch pretty quickly. But it's time to start putting the pressure. It's time to start making changes. If you haven't, make a trade. I know people get really nervous about trading, that, hey, if I give up this guy, then he's going to blow up. Yeah, that's a chance you're going to take.
Right.
But the reverse can happen as well. So just do your due diligence, and maybe something like that does work out for you.
And it really is wild to me how few GMs are on the waiver wire every week. I put in 3 requests this week and got all of them. What's going on, guys?
Well,
there's
Hey, I made my moves.
there's dudes out there that are making plays, and it's worth taking a chance on them. If you're not winning, change some shit around.
So the only thing I will say, so that's my point, is if you are not winning, guess what? You're not winning. Like, don't keep rolling the same lineup out there. Even if on paper your lineup looks great, if it's not working out for you, like, you got to make some changes. You can't just keep trying the same thing over and over again and find yourself 1-6. But my tip and trick that I am hesitant to share, because I don't like to educate you all, is don't pick every single player that you want on waivers up on waivers. Right? Like, don't put yourself at the back of the waiver line for a player that no other person in the league wants. Just pick him up when the waivers are over. You know? So, like, identify the people you want, figure out if you're worried about somebody else grabbing them. If you need to get them first, put in on the waiver claim. If it's somebody that you can wait for and pick up on your own afterwards, just wait, pick them up afterwards. Like, there's no reason to find yourself 12 out of 12 in the waiver line, because you never know what some of these people are going to drop. Like, you can find fucking Amari Cooper out on waivers one week.
Just might. It's wild out there.
So that's my tip for the week.
All right, Jose, what do you got?
Now is the time. If you haven't been watching the waivers, you got to start looking now because bye weeks are coming up. Players are hurt. Shit's changing. Rookies are starting to take their place in the grand scheme of things. Like Houston's running back that looked like a bust in the beginning of the season. Now not looking too busty. So this is the point where you can kind of tip your ship before shit's gone way bad. Because come week 7, 8, like there ain't nobody out there. You're gonna need like the backups to start getting hurt to find quality, unless it's somebody drops somebody. But like for the most part, in a couple of weeks, who's out there is going to be out there.
Yeah, you might have a freak week where some loser on the waiver wire gets you 17 points, but you can't expect that every week.
No. So we'll see how this week ships up. Because, man, this whole season's been fucking wild. Ever since they started allowing betting on football, shit's been real nuts.
Huh, that's interesting.
I mean, I just play fantasy football, though.
Since all of our tips are about the waiver wire, I would suggest just look for consistency in possible waiver pickups. You don't want somebody that's 2 points this week, 40 points the next week. You want a consistent 7, 8, 9, 11. If you can find that, you just play the number. You're playing the numbers. Averages.
And there's ways to kind of filter everything out so you can see what everybody has. And let's say the player on your roster is 20th in points in that position, and you see people available who are averaging at a higher rate. Make the change, especially in something so minute as like a kicker.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I do with my tight end. Couldn't be happier.
There's a bunch of really solid
Cole
tight ends
Kmet
out there right now that have kind of emerged from the pack. I mean, I'm pretty good with tight ends, but I am definitely looking.
No, I'm solid. I was able to snag, I think I drafted Freiermuth, and then I snagged Gerald Everett off the waiver.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been all right. I don't know if that'll continue once Keenan Allen comes back.
Yeah. So, nice. Did you do that trick for your kicker this week?
For week 5?
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope for Butker to get healthy just because I like the idea of the Butker-Mahomes tandem. I had Suckup as my backup since Butker got hurt. And he's been solid, but the dude I picked up is even solider and is supposed to have a big game. So,
yeah.
Could you imagine if they run a trick play and Butker throws a touchdown to Mahomes?
Well, because you did very close to what Tito described, which because as bye weeks start coming up, I'm looking at what players am I going to have on a bye week, what player am I potentially going to target to pick them up, and I'm looking at the kickers, and I'm like, we have the 3rd highest kicker in the NFL sitting out here on waivers.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? And then you're like, okay, show me the kickers that are on rosters, and it's like the number 1, the number 2, number 4, 5, number 19, number 23. It's like, what are we doing? Why is the 3rd highest kicker on waivers and some of you are rolling with the 17th highest score?
Some people don't focus on the kicker. They think it's a giveaway spot.
It's a throwaway spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always mock the kicker, the people drafting kickers high, but man, kickers have won me some games.
But when you have games being decided by 1, 2, 3 points, that's where your difference comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at a kicker that you may have looked at once or twice and was like, I'm good. And then your kicker puts up fucking 2, 3, and that guy's putting up 11 and 12 because he put up 11 and 12 the 2 weeks before. That's what always hurts me is when I see a guy still on the waivers that I didn't pick up. If I would have made that move, I would have won that week.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like kicker is one of the positions that, not just in fantasy football, in the actual NFL, that it's one of the most disposable. Because you remember our boy Rodrigo Blankenship. He was top dog kicker. Was it last year or year before?
Year before.
A little bit of both.
And then cut, done, toast. That shit can happen mid-season, so you need to be prepared. And kickers are a dime a dozen. So you need to, if your kicker is not making moves for you, you need to get rid of him and get a new one.
Kick him to the curve.
12 teams in this league. You have a kicker who is outside of the top 12, because none of us, other than Nyes with his injured guy, none of us have more than one kicker, thank God. Unlike all these other things you insist on carrying backups for. So if you've got the 17th ranked kicker, the 17th highest scoring kicker, like, why? What are you doing? There's another guy out there who's better. Unless it's some sort of weird thing of like, oh, this guy just stepped in, or there's been some change and I think he's going to do better. Like, why do you have a low scoring kicker? I don't understand it.
Fix it. That's what we're saying. Or don't.
It's a gumball.
Or don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy if you don't, but I just don't understand.
I'll gladly take a win based on kicker choice.
Yeah.
That's a real kicker, isn't it? All right, so be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Panels on Pages on YouTube at youtube.com/panelsonpages. Pop Fantasy Football is live every week. Come chat with us in real time. And the Panels on Pages podcast is live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Download Pop Fantasy Football on your favorite podcast app. We got merch at merch.panelsonpages.com. And you can join the Pop Discord at discord.panelsonpages.com and get involved in the discussion in the Pop Fantasy Football channel. We'll leave you with some parting words, once again, from the late, great John Madden. This week, you can build bridges for decades, but you blow one dude and you'll always be a cocksucker. On behalf of Tito Cruz, Dan Mahoney, Jose Guzman, and myself, Jason Nyes, thanks for joining us for Pop Fantasy Football 2022 Week 4 recap. Good luck to everyone in this league and beyond, and we will see you next week.
ESPN, the global leader in sports. The whole thing's fucked.